Hi everybody, my name is Rob and I wanted to create a small series of vlogs for GDBC for this year to talk more to the people behind the scenes who are working with it. And I'm kicking off the first edition and hopefully my colleagues will join me. I'm part of the GDBC team. I help out in the background with creating infrastructure and doing things on social media and team meetings and stuff like that. And today I'm joined by René. René, you are one of the founders of GDBC.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us how GDBC came to fruition?
Yeah, I shall first explain what GDBC actually means.
Yeah, sure.
GDBC stands for Global DevOps Bootcamp. So it is a worldwide event. We started it, the first edition was 4 years ago, when was it, 2017. And the idea was awoken somewhere in 2016, I think. And it started all in a bar in Seattle on the MVP Summit. We went there with some colleagues. I went there with Marcel, one of our colleagues here at Experience, and with Matthias. He is one of our colleagues in Solidify in Sweden. And we started discussions on how can we cooperate, how can we do more together in business-wise, but also community-wise. So we thought, okay, let's do something together, something like a meetup. But yeah, well, we were talking, and eventually we came with a more ambitious plan. We said, oh, wouldn't it be great if we can do something with a DevOps, maybe a bit similar as Global Azure Bootcamp, but something completely conceptually different. We wanted an event on one day, so that is the similarity with the Global Azure Bootcamp and all the other bootcamps. But we wanted to have content that has the same quality all over the world. So that was our first thing, like how can we create something that is similar everywhere? So if I join the event in the United States, or I join the event in India, or I join the event in Argentina, it doesn't matter. You all get the same content. You have the same learnings, you have the same keynote speakers, you have the same edition and the same challenges, so that you can also have guaranteed quality. Because that is what we saw in other events, that depending on the venue that you joined, you got different content, and sometimes it was very good, and sometimes it was a little bit less good. So with that idea in mind, we said, okay, let's do something global. Let's call it the Global DevOps Bootcamp, and let's make it so that people can join and make it an event out of the box. And what do we mean by an event out of the box? It's something that people arrange a venue somewhere in the country. They arrange some proctors, people that can help people that join the event, a local keynote speaker that can present a nice story, and then we have a full day hackathon full of content that is provided by us. And next to that, we thought, okay, if we provide the content, then we still, people need to sign up on Meetup or Eventbrite. So let's also create that. Let's also create that experience of, we also, the sign up experience is also arranged by us.
Yeah, it's all conceptually part of Event Out of the Box.
Yeah.
We even provide the same local keynote worldwide. Every venue has the same keynote.
Exactly. Yeah. So the first year we found Donovan Brown, which was then at that moment hyping up with all the DevOps stuff that he did within Microsoft. And we found him, and he was willing to help us with this first edition. And he recorded a small keynote video for us, 50 minutes about DevOps and what is DevOps. And that was the keynote. And we provided that in video format to all the venues so that they can play that within their venue as start of the day. And then secondly, we created a nice slide deck with all kinds of instructions how to present that. And the content was all created by us, but the local venue, the local organizer can then actually present that in its own way, in its own manner, with its own DevOps sauce on top of that. Their moment to actually shine.
It's their local community and they can contribute there now.
Exactly, of course. Yeah, exactly. And then, the third part of the day is then the hackathon or the bootcamp where people dive into challenges.
So we even provide the challenges, and we even provide all the infrastructure that they need to run the challenges.
Yeah.
I think in the first year we gave them virtual machines to land on and do everything there.
Yeah.
The second year we improved a little bit and we made it more online, but still they use the virtual machine to log into things and do it actually?
Yeah. What we saw is that in the first 2 years, when we were doing this for the first time, we said, oh, let's give everybody a virtual machine. That was logistically actually quite hard because Azure is not so unlimited as people might think, because you cannot spin up 1,500 virtual machines in the cloud on the same location, because there is simply not enough room for that. So that had all kinds of logistical challenges. The second year, we still went for a virtual machine, but because we had more participants, more venues, more countries, we ran into more issues with that. It was really, really hard to all spin it up. And then last year, and well, I don't have to explain to you because you played a major part in that. Last year we said, okay, we actually don't need virtual machines. Maybe we have Visual Studio Code. We can do a lot of things in the browser in Azure DevOps. We have inline experience, and basically the idea is also it's not a coding event; it's a DevOps event. So we don't want people to spin up full development environments. It's not about that part of DevOps. It's about how to create the whole
all the process around the principles, how you follow them,
exactly.
and how can you share the learnings within your team. Okay, so Global DevOps Bootcamp, it's a bootcamp organized by the community and for the community.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about our organization as a community?
So what we do is together, so Experience and Solidify, we are the initiators of this event. So we work closely together within Solidify. We have a core team of people that participate in this event. I think it's a number of 5, 6 people that are really, really passionate and are really hardworking to make this happen. And also on our side and Experience side, we also have around 5, 6 core people that really help us to drive this event. And then of course, with all our connections in the MVP community, we have all people all around the world that have their own meetups and they have their own people running these kinds of events. So with that network of people, we have now what is it, 90? What was it last year? 95 something locations all around the world, with all local communities driven by some passionate DevOps person in that specific country to really roll this event with the content we provide.
Can you give us a sense of the scale of this event worldwide? We already said 95 venues last year.
Yeah.
What feedback did we get from the community? How big was our impact?
Yeah, so we are actually, it grew quite exponentially. So the first year we had, was it 1,500 participants in, I think it was 30 venues all around the world, which was great by that time. But last year we had 95 locations, 35 countries, and we had 10,000 people joining worldwide. For them, we all provided the infrastructure. All infrastructure was done by us, so they could really dive into the business value stuff. What all the figures? So we had 10,000 people joining. We had 10,000 people. How many teams did we have? Around 1,200 teams worldwide. For them, we had 1,200 Azure DevOps projects with the Git repos and pipelines provisions. We had a full Azure environment provision for them, so that was 1,200 web apps with databases and such running. We had a large impact on Twitter. I think it was about 5 million impressions only on that day. So it is quite big. Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we organize this event at all. We think it's fun to do. We give something back to the community, and we provide them with an event out of the box where they can do a full day of learning. It might be good to note that we usually do that on a Saturday.
Yeah.
In the past 4 years, in the past 3 years, we have done it on a Saturday, and this year's date is
May 30.
So that's a Saturday again, and we follow the timeline on the globe. So we start in New Zealand and we go all over the world. For us, it's almost 36 hours of being up in the air.
Yeah.
So it's a community event. Might be good to mention. You already mentioned that we were working in teams. I think in the previous years it was more of a exercise for people who would join. And we weren't that focused on creating teams at the local venues.
Yeah.
How did that go last year?
Yeah, so the first 2 years we also tried to work in teams, but the nature of the assignments that we created and the challenges that we provided, and also we gave everybody a virtual machine, initiated behavior that we also see in offices around the world. So people dove into the challenges, headphones on, virtual machine on, and start cranking out solutions. And for some very successfully, for others a little bit less. And we thought it is a DevOps event, and DevOps is all about teams working together with different disciplines. So this year simply we did not give them a virtual machine. Simply we did not give them a way to work separately. So we created teams within our office. We put people together and we put them at a table. We gave them 2 pieces of paper with the assignments on it, how they could log into the website. We gave them 1 monitor, and we gave them 1 set of credentials. So it really forced them to work together. And as far as I could see, we had about 8 teams working in the office here, and everybody was talking to each other, learning from each other, connecting with each other. And that was also, I don't know how you see that, but that was also the impression that we saw on social media.
Yeah. And it was very nice that you had more experienced team members who already did something in Azure and knew about stuff, and they were exercising their first iterations in Azure DevOps.
Yeah.
And vice versa, we had people using other clouds at their day-to-day work.
Yeah.
And that changed all the things around. I think we even had some Scrum Masters joining this year, and they were guiding the teams around about how can we do this in a more agile way.
Yeah, yeah. So it was really great how people can self-organize once you give them the flexibility. I had an example of someone I worked with him before, and he didn't maybe not really get the real DevOps mindset, and we tried to tell him, and well, in that organization it's quite hard to actually do that, and he joined the event and really got the feel and the hang of it, of okay, now I have all the power underneath my fingertips, and I can really do the stuff that I think needs to be done. And he was totally enthusiastic when he left, and he thought, now I get it, and this is what I want to drive within the organization. And all these stories is also things that we hear on our Slack channel, for example, that very positive feedback.
That's why we do that. We want to give the learnings to the community. It's fun, we get a lot of energy out of it, and we as a team spend our free time in there as well.
Yeah.
And it's fun for us as well.
Yeah, and I think that for us as a company or community members, it's also very interesting because we like to learn new stuff. So we are not going for the easy way and doing the same thing as last year. We are really trying to get 1 level up and say, well, what can we do next year? What can we do that we don't know yet? What do we need to figure out how to get that working? Especially for you, well, maybe we should do a new vlog on what you actually did, all this, all the technical stuff you did last year to make this happen.
That's part of our learnings as well. When you hit Azure at a scale with 1,200 teams that we created, and we created those 3 days before the event, stuff will happen, and you learn so much from it.
Yeah.
It was the same with Azure DevOps, and we pushed that service so hard that even the Azure DevOps team comes back and says, "Wow, what the hell are you doing for our service?"
Yeah.
That's the energy that we get from that as well.
Yeah. So this year, May 30, and we have big plans. I think it's going to be challenging for us to make it work again. It's going to be challenging for the participants as well, because we are trying some new things. We have to still figure out exactly what, so that will be a surprise. We can do a new vlog on that, but it's going to be different and I think very, very awesome.
And with that, I think we can conclude. I want to send out the invitation to everybody who's seeing this. Do you want to know more about DevOps, DevOps practices, principles, tools that we use, and you want to have a day of fun and learning, please join us for the Global DevOps Bootcamp. If you want to know more information, they can go to
GlobalDevOpsBootcamp.com. You can register still as a venue, so if you want to host yourself, be part of this awesome community, there is still spots left, so you can still sign up as a venue.
Yeah.
So yeah, that brings us closer together, and you will be on top, because then we will share all the info, of course, with the venues that have to host it.
Yeah.
But you can also join as a participant at one of the venues, well, all around the world, I think.
Yeah. All the registration stuff for that is coming. We're not there yet, but soon. So at least go to the website. If you want to follow along with us, we are on Twitter available, and you can find us there. But you can also subscribe to a newsletter that we'll send out when we have more information about where we start and where the venues are.
Yeah, and I think that we can just put all this stuff in the speaker, in the video notes, so people can just click through. Yeah, well, let us know what you think about this series, because we can talk for ages about this stuff, because we have already done 3. We have a lot of things up our sleeves. So let us know in the comments section what you know. Like the video, share the video, and well, let's see what happens.
Maybe until next time then.
Ciao.